All right, let's take a look at this final one here. So simplify 58x squared plus 5x plus 4 minus, then we have a parentheses, negative 30x squared plus 8x minus 4. All right, that's a lot. But everybody, there's a very specific question being asked. Everyone, it's what is the coefficient of x squared? All right. So when I take a look at this, everyone, is it gonna be okay with you if I ignore this regular old number, the positive and negative 4? Is it okay if I ignore those? Yeah, it's absolutely okay if I ignore those, because guess what? I'm asking for the coefficient of x squared. That's the one I care about, everybody. So again, in the same breath, do I care about terms that are ending in x? Do I care about those terms? No, not particularly, because I'm only subtracting. I'm adding and subtracting here. So there's no way that this is going to turn into x squared. So again, we can ignore those. What do I care about? I care about the terms ending in x squared, 58x squared, and this negative 30x squared. Those are the terms I care about. Now, let me show you what we have to pay attention to, or else we might fall victim to an easy mistake that can be made. So we have 58x squared right there. And then we have, pay attention, pay very close attention, minus, and then we have negative 30x squared. Help me out, my party people. Help me out. If I am subtracting a negative, what's going to happen there? Yeah, that's going to be a positive. That's going to be a positive. So with that, we're going to have 58x squared plus 30x squared. Oh boy, this turns into something much more manageable than before. 58 plus 30, everybody. Yeah, 88. So we have 88x squared, making our answer choice C. Nice and easy there. All right, so let's practice this first problem here. We have which expression is equivalent to 6x plus 15. So when we take a look at the answer choices, everyone, I immediately notice that these parentheses, what they mean, they basically just mean that, hey, we're going to be factoring out whatever we can from 6x plus 15. That's the job. So when we take a look at 6x plus 15, everybody, quick question. Do both 6x and 15, do they each have a variable x? Do they both have at least one? They don't. They don't. Only the 6x has a variable. So when it comes to factoring, you're not going to be factoring out a variable. You're just going to be factoring out a number. And so when we take a look at 6, well, 6 is 2 times 3. So because 6 doesn't go into 15, I got to ask, do one of the factors of 6 go into 15? And it's not going to be 2 because 15 is not even. So it's going to have to be the 3. And so when I think about this, yeah, I can factor out a 3 right there in front of the parentheses. And then we think about it, well, 6 divided by 3, that's 2. That x comes along for the ride. And then 15 divided by 3, that's going to be 5. And so there we are. We have 3 on the outside, that's what we factored out. And on the inside, we have 2x plus 5. And if you want to prove that this is correct, it's actually super easy. Because what you'll be doing is you'll be distributing to each of the terms therein. So the 3 will distribute to the 2x and to the 5. And what you're going to find out is 3 times 2x is going to give you 6x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. So exactly what we had from the get-go. And so boom, we're all good. And that's what makes our correct answer here, my party people. Answer choice C. All right, so up next we have which expression is equivalent to x plus 7 multiplied by x plus 10. And again, I said multiply because when we don't have an operator clearly shown between two parentheses or two groups, that is multiplication, everybody. In the same way that if, let's say, we had a 7 in front of an x, That's multiplication, even though we don't explicitly see a multiplication operator between 7 and x. So same idea, everybody. So now let's go ahead and take care of business, because we have a binomial in x plus 7 multiplied by another binomial in x plus 10. Now pay attention to that word again, a binomial, meaning we have two terms inside of the parentheses, bi meaning two. So here's the general rule. Yeah, you can use your tricks and tips like FOIL, FOIL, but the general rule is the same thing. And it's make sure that everything from one parentheses multiplies with everything from the other. So we have x multiplied by x, which would be x times x or x squared. Then you also make sure that the same x multiplies with 10. And so x times 10, that'll be 10x. Now we've successfully completed distributing this x with both terms over here. So we're done with this x. Now we're going to move forward and multiply this 7 with those same two terms. 7 times the x that we already multiplied by is 7x. Then after that, we have 7 multiplied by the 10. And 7 times 10, that's going to be 70. Just like that. So from here, my party people, what do we notice? Well, we're done distributing. And so all that we have left are these individual terms, 4 of them, all being added together. And so now we're going to turn our attention over to these like terms. We have over here 10x and 7x. Those are like terms because we have the same variables and we have the same exponents, both of them being a 1. So when we combine like terms, everybody, be careful. Don't confuse this with multiplication. When we're combining like terms, we're adding or subtracting, whichever one it is, but it's addition and subtraction. We are saying, hey, we have 10 of these x's, and we're adding 7 more of those x's. You could say boxes. Hey, I have 10 boxes and 7 boxes added together, and that's going to be 17 boxes. Just like that. Multiplication is different. Multiplication has its own rule where we multiply the values, the coefficients in front, and multiply the variables together. So we add those exponents in that case. This is different. Our final answer is going to be x squared plus 17x plus 70. And so the correct answer is going to be answer choice C. We're taking care of finding an equivalent expression to x squared plus 4x plus 4. So here's the main rule, everybody. The main rule is going to be find the factors of C that add up to B. That's what we're trying to do. This is trinomial factorization. So the cool thing about this problem is that B and C are the same number. And when we take a look at that, okay, find the factors of C, it's a pretty short list of factor pairs. We have 1 times 4 and we have 2 times 2. Now, everybody, when we add 1 times 4, that's not going to give us the B term, because again, B is 4. 1 plus 4 is going to be 5. That's not going to work. 2 plus 2, that's 4. And that will work. And so, boom, this problem here, the solution, is going to be just filling in the parentheses. We have x, that's a positive 2, that's a positive 2, and that's our answer. But just because we don't see the answer that we wrote doesn't mean that we're wrong. It just means that there might be one extra thing that we need to do. And in this case, everybody, when we have the same thing multiplied by itself, we just write that thing squared. So if we're taking a look at x plus 2 times x plus 2, that's the same thing as x plus 2 all squared. And so that's why the correct answer to this one is answer choice D, x plus 2 all squared.